Good evening and welcome to Trinity Academy Field in Wichita, Kansas for this Heartland Conference match. FC Wichita hosts St. Louis Atletico. Welcome fans from the U.S. and St. Louis and wherever else that you're watching here in the U.S. and also our fans overseas watching from wherever you are. We welcome you to the broadcast. On behalf of FC Wichita, I'm Johnny Freedom. With me, as always, is Zach Light, a.k.a. Zacharino.
Thank you, Johnny. It is great to be here. It's another warm night here in Wichita, Kansas at Trinity Academy Stadium. Windy night as well with winds coming out of the south. Pretty hard during warm-ups.
Yeah, pretty hardcore. It's going to be an interesting match for FC Wichita, not even considering the elements outside. We've got a St. Louis is a new program. Haven't seen them yet. This is their first match ever. No preseason warm-ups, nothing. In fact, this isn't even their regular roster. I was talking to the head coach just a little bit ago, and that's Ricardo Garza, and he was saying yet they still don't have players back from Wichita is without several players tonight. No Leo Sosa tonight, no Sebastian Pineda, and no Chris Lemon. So the back line is going to look a little bit different. Also in goal tonight, back in goal, back in Wichita has been our number one goalkeeper for the past 3 years, and that's Mark Weir. So Mark Weir is back in goal. So lots of changes and no idea what to expect from St. Louis. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're sorry about the stream, having a little bit of issue with our software. Good evening and welcome to Trinity Academy Field in Wichita, Kansas for this Heartland Conference match. FC Wichita hosts St. Louis Atletico. Welcome fans from around the U.S. and St. Louis and all the other places that might be watching the stream tonight, and our fans overseas. We welcome you. On behalf of FC Wichita, I'm Johnny Freedom. With me, as always, is Zach Light, Zacharino.
Johnny, a pleasure to be with you again. Definitely know there's some fans in Tulsa watching tonight after FC Wichita's big win in the first round of the U.S. Open Cup on Wednesday night. Some changes in the side tonight, but should be a good game against NPSL newcomers, St. Louis Club Atletico.
Atletico, that's right. Not Atletico, ladies and gentlemen. Atletico. And that's right, Zach. St. Louis is new to the league. Not a new club as far as a youth program, a fantastic youth program in St. Louis. It's run by Ricardo Garza, the head coach for St. Louis. Fantastic youth program that's developing youth in St. Louis. They are new to the Heartland Conference, but they look big, and we don't know a lot about them. No preseason games. This is actually their first game ever. So we're excited to see what they're going to bring to the show tonight. For FC Wichita, lots of changes. No Leo Sosa tonight, no captain tonight, so Uzi Tayu is filling in for the captain tonight. Mark Weir's in goal, giving Stephen Hammerski a break. You know, Mark Weir, for the fans that have been watching over the past couple of years, he's been our number one for several years. Well, he's back and trained up for a week, so Mark Weir is back in goal. We're also missing our right back, Sebastian Pineda, so we'll be missing him big time. Also, we're missing big center back Chris Lemons. So lots of changes, no idea what to expect from St. Louis, but we're excited to watch the match tonight. We're going to have kickoff for you here in a second.
Yeah, very interested to see what this St. Louis team brings to the Heartland Conference against a very strong defending conference champions in FC Wichita.
Absolutely, FC Wichita 2-0 on the season so far with wins over Ozark FC in the opening match, 5-0, and then a 3-1 victory last Wednesday against OKC Energy U23s. 8 goals so far this season for the boys in red, only conceded 1. So it's going to be interesting. St. Louis can start off moving left to right across your screen. They are in white, and the boys in red are in red, obviously. So what's going to be pushed up against the wind? The wind is moving left to right across your screen this evening. Officials tonight, the center referee is Phil Gomez, the assistant referee Nathan Calling, assistant referee Kevin Heamer, and your fourth official is Brian Otten. The front by Taylor Cubero. Nelson, that Landaverde cleans it up. Gets Wichita back into this match.
What a ball there to tie the game. We're sorry for the technical difficulties. It is the 16th minute. FC Wichita has just equalized 1-1 versus St. Louis.
Fantastic finish from Nelson Landaverde. Finds it all alone just outside the 6-yard box and buries it. Well, I was wondering, Zaccarino, if we were going to find a chink in their armor.
You know, St. Louis is so far been the strongest team to come in and show some offense against FC Wichita in the
They've been fantastic. No, they've been fantastic so far. Their possession has been great. They've been fantastic. A lot of calls coming in here. St. Louis finding themselves on the ground on several of these interactions with FC Wichita. Oh, Frank Teyu turns just outside the 18. Shot goes wide, just to the right of the goalkeeper.
You know,
that's a lot of full field pressure coming from FC Wichita.
And I think that's exactly what they need to do in this position, because getting that second goal quickly has proved to be beneficial for them in other games. We saw it with Leo Sosa in the U.S. Open Cup game on Wednesday night. You know, there's another thing to keep in mind here. This is FC Wichita's third game in 8 days. A lot of these guys have featured in all 3 of those matches.
Absolutely. And again, wear and tear on these players is showing already, with Leo Sosa coming up with the hamstring issue. And keeping in mind, it's not just 3 games. It's 3 games plus all the practices, training, and everything associated with that.
There really hasn't been a time for this team to sit down and have a true day off, because we're in 2 competitions right now. NPSL starting hot and heavy. Not a lot of travel with 4 home games to start the season. But away to Tulsa Roughnecks of the USL Second Division on next Wednesday in Tulsa. So that'll be their first away match of the season.
The other consideration that fans have to keep in mind when it's wear and tear on these players, we're looking at a lot of college players here. So these players are coming off not only their college seasons, but any kind of summer training or fall training that they had. In addition, some of our indoor players. We've got the Tayu brothers coming off of tons of games, indoor, which is honestly, you're playing on a turf over cement, which is a lot of wear and tear on the body.
Right.
Leo Sosa kicks for the football team at his college. So
yes.
there's a lot of things besides 3 games in effect here, keeping players healthy.
And another big adjustment for FC Wichita this year is playing on turf. Stryker was a natural grass field. It won't be once it is remodeled. It'll be a turf field. And turf just feels differently. You and I were on the pitch pre-game, and just something about the way that your shins feel. It's almost like your knees are not used to being on it. It's much tougher on the body than a grass and dirt field. You wouldn't think that with the amount of rubber that is involved in a turf field, but it is very different on your joints.
Movement of the ball's different.
Yes.
The pace of the play is different. The pace of the ball is different. Everything's different when it comes to playing on turf. And frankly, not a lot of players like playing on it, to be honest with you. There's a lot of injuries associated with it. With this, playing on this stuff, this tire stuff, I mean, we're not sure. There could be some cancer-related issues. I know it hasn't been confirmed, but the potential's there. You're talking about ground-up tires. I mean, what chemicals are associated with ground-up tires? I mean, all sorts of issues with playing on turf. Not my favorite thing to watch, but I love the game. And FC Wichita in a particular situation here with Stryker Soccer Complex getting the $22 million upgrade. Thank you, City of Wichita, for that. We're having to play here at Trinity Academy on this turf field. In the meantime, huge thanks to Trinity Academy for letting us be here. We thank you very much for allowing us to be here. But, with the playing on this football pitch, with the football markings, I mean, that was an issue already that Hammerski already had. losing track of where he was on the pitch. And so it's, there's issues, but again, we're very thankful to be able to play here in this conference, even though it is on a high school football pitch.
It's a beautiful stadium. It's a beautiful facility. It is a good quality turf field as far as turf fields go. It's just it's a very different, and this is good experience for the team going into next season.
Bad giveaway from Ben Ando. Bad giveaway.
And they capitalize.
Yeah, Ben Ando gives the ball away. And who is it? Siobhan Walsh putting St. Louis back on top, unassisted.
21st minute.
In the 21st minute here, puts St. Louis back on top. He tucks it away, bangs it off the outside post. Ando can't be happy with that. Mark Weir not happy with it.
Yeah,
St. Louis doubling the season total of goals already on Wichita.
There's not
20
much.
minutes.
There's not much Mark Weir can do about a ball like that. The shot placement was perfect. I mean, even at a full stretch, not many keepers are gonna get to that ball. It was just a defensive breakdown. Obviously we have some changes in the defense tonight due to injury. It'll be interesting to see how FC Wichita bounces back. It looks like possession is going to be the name of the game here for the next couple of minutes. And now here comes the ball forward.
And ball goes out of bounds. Going to be a throw in for FC Wichita. 22nd minute.
Now another giveaway.
Had some good movement from Michelle Gans, number 11. It's had some unbelievable movement. Been fantastic. Their midfield's been great as well. Unfortunate giveaway there for St. Louis. Frank Teu's through.
Oh, and he got clipped by the keeper there, and the referee's awarded a penalty.
Immediately points to the spot. Immediately points to the spot.
That is
hasn't reached into his pocket yet, but that's a obvious goal scoring.
That ball had been played forward. I'm not sure if it's denial of a goal scoring opportunity. If I'm a center in that position, if I had the view that I have from the press box, I don't give a card on that, but it is an obvious penalty.
I think he has to reach into his pocket on a yellow card. If you're pointing to the spot, it's at the minimum, it's got to be a yellow card, in my opinion. Frank Teu immediately takes the ball as well. Once this, Frank Teu hasn't been on the score sheet yet.
This is his
season.
chance.
Guy that scored 70-plus goals in indoor.
Yes.
Once this.
Broke the record for goals in an indoor season down in Sonora.
And he finishes it. Frank Teu!
Clinical finish there, Johnny. He has to put that one away. And in the 24th minute, it's back to even. FC Wichita 2, St. Louis 2.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're treating St. Louis and Wichita are treating the Wichita fans to a great game tonight.
This looks like it's going to be a goal fest. And it looks like we may be seeing an early change here for St. Louis. I'm seeing number 17 get his jersey on the bench. That's forward Kamari Johnson. And a Frank the Tank chant has started in the Air Capital Fern.
Has it really? Frank the Tank, huh? Well, I guess that's a reference to...
That'd be a reference to the movie Old School.
Old School. That's Will Ferrell, correct?
Yes,
Frank
yes,
the Tank?
it is.
Tell you what, FC Wichita calling for an offside. They're screaming at the assistant referee over there. Apparently wasn't in position.
Have to wonder who Kamari Johnson's coming in for here.
Well, I haven't seen anybody not playing well, Zach. For
No.
St. Louis that I think needs a substitution.
I'm seeing a a little bit of a hands on the head situation there from number 5. That's Alondo Brown.
Well, and if you remember at the beginning of the season, he was tackled. Beginning of the game, excuse me, he was tackled earlier in the season. So I think earlier in the game, so he might have picked up something. But
here comes the sub. It's not.
And coming into the game, it's I guess coming out of the game, is that number 11?
We'll see here in just a second.
Yeah, it's number 11. I'm surprised. Michelle Gann's been fantastic. Haven't seen any problems with him in the entire game. He's been awesome. It's been amazing. Sent the balls forward. He's been fantastic, but welcome to the game, number 17, Kamari Johnson. Kamari Johnson into the match in the 26th minute. Going to be a throw-in. Ball goes out of bounds off of number 8, Hamza Elias.
Gann's on the bench, not receiving any sort of medical treatment or anything like that.
It may be just a fitness issue.
Yeah, it may have just been a planned sub, knowing that they're only going to bring him in for the first few minutes. Of course, more substitutions available in PSL play than there are in your traditional soccer match.
Once you go out, you're out, but they have as many substitutions as they want to make up to their 18-man roster.
Yes.
So they can
sub every player on their bench if they
make seven substitutions if necessary. Wichita just suiting up 17 tonight. St. Louis comes in with a full 18. Nelson Landaverde stepping up on the ball here. He's about 10 yards outside of the 18, so about 28, 30 yards out. Chips the ball in. Was looking back post.
Great opportunity
for Jared
there.
Robbins.
Great opportunity there.
I tell you, this break is dangerous for St. Louis. Very, very dangerous. What good work there from Ando and Eddie Gomez, but tackled away, number 8. He's still with the ball.
He's going to have it.
Has a shot. He had glory in his eyes.
That's not going to be
30 yards out. It's not going to beat Mark Weir.
Not going to beat Mark Weir with that. They apparently haven't done their homework on Mark
that
Weir.
Far out. Well, you know, they've had a couple goals.
It would take a pretty spectacular shot, not something right at it. He'll collect those all day. You're going to have something that curls and dives to beat Weir from that distance.
Well, they were looking for the chink in the armor of Mark Weir, and they need to look elsewhere, I suppose. FC Wichita chasing the ball right now. 29th minute here in Wichita, Kansas. Still 2-2. St. Louis coming out with an early lead in the 3rd minute on a goal from Siobhan Walsh. He gets his brace for the night in the 21st minute. And then we've got goals in the 16th from Nelson Landaverde and the 24th minute from Frank Tayu.
I do feel like FC Wichita is starting to settle into this game, knowing that whatever that St. Louis can throw at them, they can come back from. And it's just a matter of getting the lead and staying there. And they certainly have the talent on the field. We've seen great things so far this season from a guy like Ben Ando, from a guy like Eddie Gomez.
Nelson Landaverde's been fantastic this season. Got his 3rd goal in the season. He and Leo Sosa are leading the team in all competitions.
Oh, Frank!
And that's another goal from Frank Tayu. Slams it home, baby, just inside the 18 on an assist from Nelson Landaverde, giving FC Wichita a lead 3-2 in the 30th minute.
Like I said.
Oh, baby!
Like I said, I felt that FC Wichita was starting to settle into this game. And, clearly this is a very, very talented St. Louis side. But when you've got the firepower and the attackers that this FC Wichita team has, it really wasn't going to be long. So here we are, 30th minute, FC Wichita leading 3-2.
What a goal from Frank Tayu, and way to come out of your shell finally, Frank. We hadn't seen a goal from him. Highly touted player. Hadn't seen a goal from him at this point. Now we've got his first goals on the season, and he's got a brace with still a lot of time left, Zaccarino.
Yes.
15 minutes remaining in the half. 45 minutes remaining in the game.
Right. And it'll be interesting.
I'm sorry, 60 minutes remaining in the game.
And it'll be interesting to see what St. Louis does to answer this, because they certainly have all the talent here too. We've seen them be, their forwards especially, be very crafty in stealing possession from the FC Wichita midfield and defenders.
What I'm seeing are issues with their center backs, leaving too much space open.
Playing very wide.
Inside the 18, they're playing very wide, absolutely. And that ball came in wide on some speed from Nelson Landaverde, who beats his defender on the right flank and sends a ball into Frank Tayu, who was just basically given too much space. Really kind of the same issue that we've had.
Now here's a ball through.
And it's going to be a little bit too much juice on it with that wind. It's going to go over the end line. Going to be a goal kick coming up for Mark Weir. It's kind of the same issues that we've seen with Siobhan Walsh being given too much space. You know, Frank Tayu given too much space there, and he buries it. No, absolutely no chance for Nate Himes there to do anything but watch that ball go in the back of the net.
Yeah, Frank Tayu gets just a little taste with that penalty, and now he knows, okay, I can score. Wonder if the floodgates are open on a guy like that, scoring 70-plus goals in the MASL this past year.
This is trouble here. They need to...
And Wichita has numbers back.
And they're defending Siobhan very... pretty tight.
Very tight. Uzi stepping up to make the play, but now he's down holding his knee. Wichita looking for a counterattack opportunity here.
Thomas Wells still with the ball. Nelson Landaverde, this is the same issue, the same situation that we just had on that last goal.
Oh, and Frank! Wow.
And how are they calling that offsides? You've got two defenders right on him.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't see that whatsoever. Frank, needless to say, Frank heads the ball wide. Looked like it was deflected off of a St. Louis defender. That's why I don't get how he was offside. But Uzi
Tayu limping towards the sideline.
And this is probably the worst thing that could happen for FC Wichita right now.
Referee's walking over to check on him. And he's wearing the captain's armband tonight. You know he wants to stay in this game and see it through, trying to maybe just walk it off a little bit here.
We've got two defenders here in reserve for FC Wichita. We've got the speedy, the crafty, the shifty Alex Morgan wearing number 8 tonight. And then we've also got Kieran Laking, British international, former Newman player, who is a hard-nosed defender. Can play center back, can play right back. .34th minute here in Wichita. If you're just tuning in, it's 3-2 FC Wichita leading St. Louis. It's been a back-and-forth match. First lead for FC Wichita. They've been trailing this entire game. St. Louis riding the back of Siobhan Walsh.
Uzi down again there, trying to make a play on the ball, hopefully not a side effect. It seems to be a knee or a lower leg issue. Like you said, talented defenders on the bench. You know, a guy like Uzi doesn't want to come out of this game.
He looks like he's all right. Looks like he just had a little knock there. Siobhan Walsh going to be a handful. He's not a small player. He's a big player like Uzi. He's a big player like Frank Tayu.
Yeah.
Guarantees 6'2", 6'3", 200 pounds plus. Fast.
Already
and can hit the ball.
Yeah.
Now, if he's going to be playing the remainder of the season, I'm not sure if he's just in because St. Louis needs some players. But he's going to be a handful.
I would say this is a guy you need to hold on to if you're St. Louis. He's been incredible for him early tonight. And now Frank playing the ball.
Find Marian Sarr.
And the referee not awarding a penalty there. It does look like there was some contact.
There was some contact. Marian Sarr goes down on the contact. Thought he went down a little easy, and I think the referee thinks so too. I'd like to see him take a shot there.
Yeah, no, absolutely have the shot. You know, you can't play for the penalty. Obviously, he may have anticipated that contact was coming, and there was definitely contact there. Probably not enough to justify a penalty, though.
Ball played across. Oh, unlucky there. Thomas Wells looking to do something cheeky.
Yeah, I think he was looking to play from his heels there. Didn't quite have it lined up. A player who's been incredibly impressive.
From Thomas Wells. Looking for Ben Ando, plays it just past him. And I got to say something about the St. Louis Atletico. This Hamza Elias, man, what a hard-nosed defender. Looks like he's playing the defensive mid here, but he's shifty, speedy, playing some great through balls.
Yeah.
His vision is fantastic.
Yeah, an advanced playmaker in that defensive mid role can be, you know, a very, very valuable thing when you're playing kind of one, you know, if you're not playing the standard 4-4-2, when you have that defensive mid, maybe in a 4-3-3 or in the formation that St. Louis is playing tonight, which is a little strange because they originally listed 4 forwards in the game.
And looking at playing the 4-2-4 is what they initially had sent us with their roster. Doesn't look exactly like the formation that they're playing.
In fact, it looks like they've played a number of different formations. Right now, 3 in the back, with a left back kind of pushing forward. I'm sorry, right back pushing forward.
Well, I like the movement, and I think they're just giving their players the room to do what they think is necessary, because you've got, you know, Elias over there looking like almost like a defensive mid position, but pushing that ball forward and getting the offense going for St. Louis, almost shepherding or quarterbacking their offense right now. But he's been fantastic. He's almost, right now they've got 3 backs, and he's kind of playing almost like that sweeper or stopper position there just ahead of the defender. You know, again, that defensive mid position, kind of like the position that Leo Sosa plays, breaking the offense up and then getting the offense going with, you know, some skill, obviously, and some speed that he's got.
Now Frank Tayu trying to
there
hold
he steps
up the ball.
In.
And, you know, that's something that you can do with players that have played together for a long time. These guys can feel free to kind of move about a little more freely and be a little bit more creative with their play than, you know, a very structured, disciplined team where you've got new pieces of the puzzle coming in every year. Again, a lot of history with this St. Louis club. They have been together for a long time, just now joining the NPSL Heartland Conference. But a lot of these guys have probably played together, maybe even since the youth leagues.
Well, it's interesting to watch them play. They've got players from all over, not just from St. Louis. I was speaking to Ricardo Garza, the head coach for St. Louis. This is trouble.
They've got help coming forward.
Man, got behind Uzi, and Mark Weir collects that. But as I was saying, I was talking to Ricardo Garza. He's got guys from all over the country that he's brought in to get this club put together, some local people. But I tell you what, you can tell, I mean, there's something there. Even though they don't have a match under their belts yet, they've been playing together a lot. I mean, for example, look at this movement between number 8 and number 10, Brian Lopez. It's been fantastic over here on this right flank. The movement's been beautiful. Marian Sarr looking for the ball, doesn't see it. I think they're looking for more movement from Marian. He's been kind of shuffling around in like a 10-yard area, not necessarily making the runs I think that they're looking for. He's all alone. If you look back here, number 17, all alone on the back flank. Thomas Wells in the box just outside the 18, gets fouled. No call from the referee. He goes down. It's collected by Nate Himes, the St. Louis goalkeeper. 40th minute, about to hit the 41st minute here. Zach, still 3-2 in Wichita. FC Wichita leading the visiting St. Louis Atletico.
Yeah, 5-goal first half. These two teams are putting on a show.
And really, 5-goal, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, we haven't seen a goal here in about 10 minutes, and I don't want to jinx anything, but we haven't gone 10 minutes in the match so far without a goal. So it's been an interesting match. Maybe things are slowing down a little bit. I sure hope not. Right in front of you, referee, not getting nothing.
Not making a call at all.
Plays the ball into Frank Tayu. Nelson Landaverde. What a move from Nelson Landaverde. You got to be kidding me, referee. Right in front of you. Right in front of you, referee. My goodness.
A couple of blown calls now. Player goes down there.
Referee not going to call anything on Wichita right now. A flop from St. Louis, and they're getting every whistle. So not sure if the referee's trying to find his sense of the game at this point too, but seeing a couple fouls there right on Nelson Landaverde, the referee waves him off.
Wow, what a run there.
And Siobhan Walsh, man. Great run. Mark Weir comes out, defends it. Miss hit from Siobhan Walsh, goes out of bounds. Again, dangerous play from Siobhan Walsh. This wind playing hectic. Again, Jared Robbins, our defender there, struggling with that wind. Ball's over the top of his head. When you got that big boy, Siobhan Walsh, running behind you, it's trouble.
Yeah, and you can see the corner flags. The wind is still whipping around. May get a little bit better with the sun going down, but.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's been trouble, and FC Wichita about to get some of that here in a few minutes. They're going to get the wind advantage if you consider the wind an advantage in a game. Sometimes it's the opposite. I know watching my kids play, my daughter especially, a lot of times they play better against the wind than they do with the wind, just because the pace on the ball when they hit a ball, it screws with the pace of the ball a little bit. Jared Robbins with the ball. Finds Uzi. Offside there on Frank Tayu.
Now a big over-the-top ball.
And they're going to keep doing that. They're going to keep trying to beat them over the top, and they've been successful. No real reason to not try that over the top ball. It's been successful for them. Vidal Pla, the foul, number 4, Spanish international, plays his soccer at Friends University NAIA club here in Wichita. He was looking for a give and go from Marian Sarr. Knew it wasn't going to happen, so he grabs the jersey. FC Wichita needs to make sure they're tracking with these runners. It's a long ball, not going to quite make it. FC Wichita going to get the throw in here, 44th minute. Still 3-2 here in Wichita. If you're just tuning in, I'm Johnny Freedom on behalf of FC Wichita. Calling the game with me is my good buddy, Zach Light, a.k.a. Zacharino. I want to give a shout out to, again, the guys that keep us healthy and kicking it, Mid-America Orthopedic. Also want to thank Dr. Kyson Frank, our team chiropractor. Eddie Loa, our team masseuse, and our club title sponsor this year is Wheat State Insurance. Unfortunate touch there from the St. Louis forward, number 17, Kamari Johnson, finds Mark Weir. Mark giving a pat on the back to the guy that's got to put a brace past him and has been testing him all night.
Game recognizes game.
It does. What a touch from Frank Tayu, like the wings of a butterfly.
And kind of interesting call there from the official.
I mean, and that's the thing that I've seen.
Frank.
That's the thing that I've seen from him tonight is just really inconsistent so far. If you're going to call the wrapping your arms around a player, then you have to call it for Wichita. You know what I mean? When you got players wrapping up Nelson Landaverde and you don't call it. But again, it's just an issue Frank Tayu's had all season. He's so big. You got a guy jumping over his back. So he finally blows a whistle for Wichita.
Coaching staff on the sideline is like, finally. And we are into stoppage time.
Not sure what
here in
we're
the
going to
first
see
half.
as far as stoppage time. The fourth official, Brian Otten, tonight. Haven't seen an indication from him. I might have missed it,
Didn't see it either.
but I can't imagine that it's going to be more than 1 or 2 minutes. Just we haven't had a lot of. We've had one substitution. Okay, Frank gets a call here on something I didn't think was that bad.
The defenders are just kind of blown away there by the
call.
Yeah.
Well, I'm interested to see what the fitness level for the St. Louis team is going into the second half. We know the fitness level for Wichita has been fantastic. And I tell you what, up to this point, 45 minutes plus into this match, Wichita's been great. St. Louis has been great.
Now here's a chance, headed back across goal, but a little bit too much there.
I think Marion was looking for somebody to make a back post. I'd like to see him put that on frame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
especially the strength of the header, the way he was really unopposed there. Put that thing on frame. Marion, a great player, German international, played 4 years at Newman, scored a lot of goals for Newman. Fantastic program at Newman, coached by the legendary Cliff Brown, former professional player for the Wichita Wings, goalkeeper for the Wichita Wings for many years. Made his home here in Wichita, committed to growing in youth in our community, was a youth coach, and then he's continuing to coach Newman. There's a through ball. Great run from Marian Sarr.
Looking for the cross. There's nobody there. Plays it back just a little bit towards the edge of the box as opposed to just straight across.
Hamza Elias.
FC Wichita does well. They win the ball back there. That's it.
That's the match, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. That's the halftime whistle. Excuse me. Halftime whistle here at Trinity Academy. FC Wichita leading St. Louis by a score of 3-2. Goal rundowns for you. St. Louis takes an early lead in the 3rd minute from Siobhan Walsh. Nelson Landaverde in the 16th minute ties things up. And Siobhan Walsh again gets his brace unassisted in the 21st minute. Frank Tayu gets a PK in the 24th minute that he promptly buries to tie things up. And Frank Tayu again on an assist from Nelson Landaverde in the 30th minute, giving Wichita the 3-2 lead. On behalf of FC Wichita, I'm Johnny Freedom. With me is Zacharino Light. We're going to be off the air here for about 15 minutes. Stay tuned here, and we'll be back to give you this second half action here in Wichita, Kansas. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for second half action here at Trinity Soccer Complex in Wichita, Kansas. On behalf of FC Wichita, I want to welcome you back to this action. I'm Johnny Freedom. With me is my good old buddy, Zacharino, Zach Light. Zach, we had an interesting first half.
An exciting first half.
That's what we thought it would be, not knowing what St. Louis was bringing to the table. Looks like we've got a couple changes here. We've got a change in goal for Atletico. In goal, it looks like is number 31, Ziggy Cameo. And then I'm not sure on any other changes out on the pitch.
But no, a change in keeper for St. Louis.
Hopefully we'll have some other changes as well here for St. Louis. Want to see some new faces. One face that some of the FC Wichita fans may remember is Levi Spray. He's number 18 for St. Louis. He plays defense. I don't see him out there yet. I think he's still sitting on the bench. Well, he's a great player, scrappy little player even. So we'll look to see him hopefully come in, get some minutes. No changes for FC Wichita. St. Louis going to provide some pressure. Pressure's been what really has been the difference maker in this game so far. You know, giveaways from a variety of different from the clubs, just all based on pressure. Oh, here's great tackle from Marian Sarr. Great comeback. Brian Lopez was streaking down the right field line. On the right side over there, on the right flank of the pitch. Big throw-in coming here from St. Louis. Uzi Tayu heads the ball away. Thomas Wells wins that. Two FC Wichita players end up on the pitch, courtesy of Siobhan Walsh, number 9. He doesn't know what's going on here. Siobhan, I don't know what's going on here either, man. With this official, I have to agree 100%.
Yeah, the calls in the last 15 minutes of that first half there were interesting. Lots of what appeared to be obvious fouls that were not even given a second glance, and a lot of little things that most refs would let go, just made a big deal out of. So,
well, I'll never ever pretend to understand what's going on in the mind of an official, Zacharino. I've got all 3 of my kids are officials, and when they put on those officials' jerseys, I just don't know what's going on, man. It's strange things in Johnny Freedom's household.
Remind me not to trust your kids.
Don't trust my kids. Well,
St. Louis now with a chance.
That's number 20, Georgia Guy. Who's into the game now for St. Louis. He was one of the changes. We didn't get any of the changes, but we've got Georgia Guy in number 20. And looks like he's playing that left flank for St. Louis.
Long throw-in opportunity there.
Headed away by Wichita.
And now here's a big over-the-top ball. Wichita's going to use that wind to their advantage, and it's still blowing pretty hard out there.
And that was Taylor Cubero looking for Frank Tayu.
Frank makes the turn here. Ben Abdo's running into the box. He's going to have a shot. No, Deviner in a handball. Referee waves it off.
Maybe his hand was in a natural position. I didn't see it.
I mean, you could make an argument hand there, but no, the hand was outstretched to the side. Unfortunately, we don't have the benefit of replay tonight.
Referee pushing the St. Louis player back. Eddie Gomez with the ball. Uzi fouled there, gets the ball away well from Siobhan Walsh. He's trying to make a turn, tries to make a turn. St. Louis with the ball. And despite this win, they're still sending through balls over looking for Siobhan Walsh. And they're continuing to find him, even pushing the ball into the wind, slowing things up. Vidal Pla goes to touch the ball, goes out of bounds. Going to be a throw-in for St. Louis. St. Louis looking for one of those big throw-ins into the 18-yard box. Into the 51st minute for that foul on Uzi Tayu. And that's my bad. It was to Ayer Hernandez, number 3. How Nelson Landeverde came away with that ball is amazing. Bit of skill there from St. Louis. Keep that ball in bounds. Fantastic skill from them. Oh, unfortunate turnover. St. Louis on the break. Uzi Tayu turns the ball around and just dumps it down to the St. Louis end. All the way down to Ziggy Cameo. St. Louis with the ball. It was a great turn from Uzi Tayu. Great defensive effort from Uzi tonight. Once they figured out their man was Siobhan Walsh, they've been on him like white on rice. Been all over him.
Yeah. Definitely a very talented player, but a defender like Uzi Tayu is not going to...
well, they're not going to give him any more space than Siobhan can earn all on his own.
Right, especially Uzi getting to step up and wear the captain's armband tonight. You saw him take a knock a little bit earlier in this game, and he didn't want to come out of it. He's gutting it through, maybe in a little bit of pain right now, but still, playing as hard as anybody on the field right now. He's got the ball at his feet, looking for that long ball. Lots of options on the side there. Here comes a cross.
Marian Sarr.
Plays it back. Here comes the cross. Frank Tayu's there. Unfortunately, not much on that for a foul. Wells gets clipped in the heel.
He tries to make a turn.
Wells plays it for Frank Tayu.
Frank a little heavy on the touch, loses the ball. St. Louis with it.
Frank does well to do it, and then it took the defender pulling Frank's shorts and slapping him before the official makes a call.
Well, it was letting them go back and forth. It was a good battle between Hamza Elias, who, in my opinion, from what I've seen tonight, has been the most dangerous St. Louis player overall. Has been doing the most. I mean, if I had to pick a St. Louis man of the match so far, despite the fact that Siobhan's got the brace, I would pick number 8. Elias has been fantastic tonight. He's been dangerous. He's been a defensive beast. He's been fantastic.
And unfortunately, that ball sails well wide.
Man. Vidal Pla, put that on frame, baby.
Again, you can see the corner flag. The wind is still blowing like crazy, and of course, it caught that ball and carried it.
Well, and they get quick. St. Louis gets started quick. Atletico, quick start from the back, and they're happy to build from the back. I like it. Rather than sending a ball up and creating a 50-50 ball, I like this possession from St. Louis.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of their key to this second half, to get the tie, and if they want to push and win this game.
Not the ball Thomas Wells was looking for. He was looking for Frank Tayu, but a bad touch from St. Louis creates pressure on their back line. And with some possession and some great passing, they're working themselves out of trouble here. In the 56 minutes, still 3-2 Wichita. Still a lot of time. St. Louis, again, is showing that they're a fantastic club in their inaugural season. Been exciting to watch. Their possession's been fantastic. Movement, position.
Their creativity as well. You know, that's not
great.
something that we talk a whole lot about, but it's a big aspect in soccer that you don't see in a whole lot in other sports. The creativity of this St. Louis team is something special. Look for them to make a good run in the Heartland Conference this year.
They're going to be, based on what I've seen, they're going to be a handful for a lot of clubs this year. Even the front runners, Tulsa, Little Rock, I mean, they're going to be trouble. If they continue to put this same roster together, they're going to be a handful for every club, even the stronger teams.
Into the 57th minute
Vidal
here.
Pla still with the ball. Still with the ball! And Vidal Pla goes down just outside the 18. What a run from Luis Vidal Pla, Spanish international from Friends University. Makes a run, tries to break into the 18. He's fouled just outside. It's going to be a dangerous free kick for FC Wichita here in the 57th minute.
Definitely look to a guy like Eddie Gomez to take this and put it on frame from this kind of distance.
Well, I know Vidal Pla's had his opportunities. He's taken a step back. I tell you, that was a lung buster of a run, Zaccarino. Mm-hmm. And they're talking this over, deciding if they're going to have one. I think they need to. Both of these keepers, not big keepers.
Right. And a new keeper in the game, I think you need to test him.
Absolutely put this on frame. They're putting together, St. Louis putting together the wall referee, helping them find their position. I think you let Nelson Landaverde step up and take this. Marian Sarr with his left boot is up there as well. I want to see Nelson Landaverde bend this one around the wall, and put FC Wichita up by 2 goals. And it's going to be Nelson. And he
tried to go near post there.
Tried to go near post to the right side of the wall, and it trickles out of bounds. Unfortunate for FC Wichita. It's going to be a goal kick coming up for St. Louis. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank our sponsors. Can't have a club without sponsors. Want to thank American Orthopedic for all they do for the club, keeping the boys healthy and kicking it. Thank Dr. Kyson Frank, Team Cairo, Eduola, the team of Zeus, and our club title sponsor this year, Wheat State Insurance. Also want to invite everybody out. Our post-game party spot, win or lose, is going to be at Jersey's Bar and Grill. They've got delicious beer. The cheese sticks, Zaccarino. I can't speak enough about the cheese stick. They're as big as baby arms,
You've been talking up these cheese sticks.
They're fantastic.
I had the chicken fried chicken.
Look at this run here from Frank Tayu.
He's got it.
Oh, baby.
Man.
Had glory in his eyes. Just outside the 18. He wants that back.
And he's gutted. You can see him on his knees.
He got all that ball.
He got everything on it. If that's on frame, that's in the back of the net. It might even go through a goalkeeper.
Yeah, what a hit from Frank Tayu. Unfortunately, little high.
Man, I would not want to face that power on it if I was an indoor keeper.
No, especially up close like that, it's going to be rough. Okay, that was a push to the back of Vidal Pla. And finally, the assistant referee waves his flag over there. I mean, that was a push directly to the back of Vidal Pla as he's shielding the ball away. I mean, that in itself alone is a foul. So, not sure what either of the referees are seeing there. It should have been an immediate call because it's putting Wichita in a bad defensive position back here. So neither here nor there. If you don't know Mark Weir, you know he's got a booming leg.
He can score from that kind of distance.
He can.
And he
has.
A former NPSL goal of the year.
Now Frank Tayu gets the ball. He's got 3-4 white jerseys around him. They're also seeing Frank Tayu's trouble. Oh, what a touch there. Beautiful from Taylor Cubero, excuse me.
And the over-the-top ball there.
Ben Ando.
Easily.
They're calling for a handball there. Well defended by Ben Ando, wins the ball.
Taylor Wells now streaking down the sideline.
Has he still got the ball?
Oh, he was with
Thomas
it.
Wells did well.
He was with it till the very end there.
Love the pace of that kid. Love the enthusiasm, the heart. Always giving 110%. Local homegrown player, Thomas Wells. Played club for Sporting Rojos.
Looks
For
like
the great coach, Nick Trujillo. Then played at Capon, and now he's at the University of Tulsa as a freshman. Fantastic player. Actually going to be coming into his sophomore year. Just completed his first year as a freshman.
St. Louis looking to make a change here.
23 coming into the match. That's Quentin Reese. Quentin Reese listed as a forward.
Can also see Taylor Henry warming up on the FC Wichita sideline. He's stretching out. Could see him come into this game pretty soon, and he's one of those guys who can come off the bench and really change the game.
What a defensive effort from Uzi Tayu. Finds Nelson Landaverde. Okay, they're not... FC Wichita is going to need to continue to play the ball. You know what I mean? Continue to play. Referee is not going to call all this. Well defended by FC Wichita. Well done there by Jared. Great tackle from FC Wichita. This is a scrum here. Looking trouble for Wichita. Handball goes over the end line, called by the assistant referee, and that's fortunate for Wichita. St. Louis was creating a lot of trouble there inside the 18. And here's your substitution coming for you. Number 23 coming into the game for St. Louis. Again, this is Quentin Reese. And I believe this is Matt Moran who's coming out of the game. Yes, that's number 13. Matt Moran had a great game. They're attacking and adding another attacking player here. St. Louis not sitting back, not taking this 3-2 deficit right now. It looks like Taylor Henry's getting warmed up as well. Thomas Wells going to get to this. St. Louis holds things up. You play a ball wide. Into this wind, it's trouble. And the substitutions coming in for FC Wichita. Taylor Henry coming in. Taylor Henry, also a local homegrown player. Played at high school at Wichita High South. And 4 years for Kansas Newman, Division II. He's coming in for Ben Ando. I'm sorry, Ben Ando making the switch.
Looks like
Nelson Landaverde coming out.
Yes, it is.
Looks like Nelson, looks like they gave him a good 63 minutes, 64 minutes of time here, keeping him fresh for the game on Wednesday night. He's been down a lot, but he's been fantastic as usual. Fans being treated to a goal from Nelson Landaverde in the 16th minute, his third on the season.
That ball's going to be way up, way out of bounds.
I believe that went out of bounds. That was good movement over there by Taylor Henry. 65th minute, still 3-2 here in Wichita. FC Wichita leading.
You can hear the wind coming through our field microphone. It is still very gusty out there.
There's Vidal Plas still with the ball. Finds Thomas Wells. Oh, that was an unfortunate touch there. Well done there. Well played by our defender, Jared Robbins. Plays the ball
Robbins
off of the St. Louis defender.
Robbins saw some time in the U.S. Open Cup game coming in for Chris Lemons.
And Robbins has been solid. Plays at McPherson. Came in on the open tryouts. Made the squad. He and Eddie Gomez made it on the open tryouts. Both of those boys play at McPherson, fantastic club, McPherson College. Both those guys great players. Been wonderful getting a lot of minutes for the boys in red. And here's trouble. Headed to safety by the defender for St. Louis. That's number 12, Ewan Webster. He's a Welsh international. If I said your name wrong, Ewan, when you're watching this, I apologize, sir. Wichita applying full pressure here. A lot of trouble here for St. Louis. And the foul on Frank Tayu here. 67th minute free kick coming up for St. Louis. Nobody warming up on either side now. Actually, we got some couple players warming up for FC Wichita. Got a goal kick coming up for St. Louis. Sorry, free kick coming up for St. Louis. They quick restart it. FC Wichita plays it all the way back to Mark Weir. Mark's gonna have one. Finds Thomas Wells. What a great ball from Mark Weir. Wells is through.
And a great cross there. It's teed up.
Marion Starr, baby!
Wow.
My goodness! Left-footed blast from Marion Starr puts FC Wichita up by 2. What a run. What a ball. Look, how did that start? Zach, that started a great ball from Mark Weir. Finds Thomas Wells. Ball played across the front line of the 18, across the 18. Finds a deflection. Finds Marion Sarr. Left-footed blast. Puts Wichita up by 2. What a goal for FC Wichita.
And a great ball there from Wells. I mean, this kid comes into this game, you know, and he's the guy who can change a game. You know, we saw him come in as a sub in the first match against Ozark FC. He's featured. He started.
He's been into the starting 11 since that game,
then,
Zach.
Because he can do things like that.
He's got an amazing pace. His vision is fantastic. And his work ethic is off the hook.
Right.
Zach, you know what I mean? Constantly bringing 110%. And if you ask his coach, if you ask his club coach, Nick Trujillo loved, he was his workhorse. He'll tell you, Thomas Wells was his workhorse.
Now Wells with a long throw there, trying to hit Frank Tayu.
Benando gets the call there. And that's a yellow card coming for number 8. I guess he's had enough of number 8 there. I like the player. I like Hansa Elias. I think he's a fantastic player. Just a little rough on the play there. A little rough. A little tackle from the back. Got a little bit too much of Benjamin Ando. Going to be a free kick for Wichita. This is Taylor Cubero stepping up for Wichita. Going to try to bend a ball in here. Got all the big boys up there. Well defended by St. Louis. Unfortunate touch for St. Louis. Looks like their touches are breaking down here a little bit. Maybe we're in the 70th minute. They may be getting a little tired over here. But it hasn't been the possession that we've seen from them, the quality possession that we've seen in the first half.
No, FC Wichita definitely setting the pace in this second half. They're making this their game. And now with the score 4-2 in the 70th minute, I'm kind of out of ideas. The explosiveness, the creativity that St. Louis had in the first 30 minutes of this game is really lacking. Now, here comes a run.
Taylor Cuberos with it, able to save it.
Eddie
Gomez hits it just wide. 8 from about 20 yards out. That was a great setup from Wichita. Ball played in wide to that far post. I'm sorry, the far flag. Taylor Cubero holds play up for a little bit, waiting to get some players down to assist him, some boys in red. Eventually finding the feet of Eddie Gomez. Eddie shoots it a little bit too high. And
FC Wichita preparing another sub.
And that's Victor Olorunfemi, also a local homegrown player. Victor played at Southeast High School, and now he's at UMKC, University of Missouri, Kansas City Division I program, the Roos. And Marian Saar finds himself into the referee's book here in the 72nd minute. So free kick coming up here for St. Louis.
Benando having a word with the official. We should see the substitution here before the free kick. And here it comes.
Victor Olorunfemi going to be substituting in for not sure who here. He's coming in for the workhorse for Thomas Wells. Wherever you are, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Give a big hand and a round of applause to Thomas Wells.
Absolutely.
Been fantastic.
If you're a fan of FC Wichita. Well, even if you're a St. Louis fan, you have to respect.
Even if you're not a fan of FC Wichita, you got to respect the work ethic from a 19-year-old kid.
Yeah, and the hustle.
19-year-old college player here coming in and putting in work.
Headed ball.
Headed by St. Louis. It was a great ball in from St. Louis. Just headed over the top of the crossbar. 73rd minute here. Going to be a free kick in the form of a goal kick rather for Mark Weir. Quick restart finds Taylor Cubero. Taylor looking up. I was looking for Ben Ando. And Taylor Cubero finds himself in the book. Here in the 73rd minute still. Referee filling up his book here with the quickness in the past, 5-10 minutes?
Yeah.
4 or 5 bookings here. So referee.
Cards are coming in heavy.
Center referee telling him to start with the whistle. Great pressure there from Frank Tayu. Causes an errant pass from St. Louis to go out of bounds. Going to be a throw in for Wichita. About 16 minutes left here in the match. Wichita up by 2, 4-2. Taylor Henry chests the ball down. Taylor Henry still with the ball.
Yeah, way to fight there, Taylor.
Taylor Henry, for those that don't know, again, played at South High, played at Newman, Division II program, plays indoor, here amateur indoor for Wichita selection. He was the Golden Boot in the PASL. Victor Olorunfemi with the ball. Victor played with us last year, a great player. Got some minutes. Frank Tayu with the ball. Frank Tayu still with the ball. Gets stripped by Elias. Elias plays the ball forward, finds himself on the pitch. St. Louis with the ball. Great work there from St. Louis. Mark Weir comes out. Big Mark Weir, the big Scot. Comes and gets that ball, collects that ball.
Yeah, not starting to see some St. Louis players not pushing as forward as they were in the first half. Again, this is not a final roster for this team. So may have some fitness issues as we get into the later minutes now in the 75th.
Great touch from Uzi.
Yeah,
finds Eddie
easily dealt
Gomez.
with.
Arian Sar gives a dummy. Finds Victor Olorunfemi. Oh, that was a dirty play there. Dirty. He'll be reaching into his pocket. Doesn't get anything. That's number 9. Siobhan Walsh finding himself into the referee's book in the 76th minute. Takes out Taylor Cubero. Says it was his belly. Just didn't get any ball, all body.
Yeah,
always going to be the call.
No need for him to make that play.
Always going to be the call there. Always going to get that call. 76th minute here, still 4-2. Wichita leading. Not sure what's going on here. Was he waiting for the whistle? Referee's got his hand on his side over here. Maybe he didn't like the position. Maybe the ball was moving. Hard to say here. I'm okay with it.
Now the referee blows the whistle for a restart.
Well, he gets a free one.
Played forward there, but no one from FC Wichita can get there for it.
Again, that wind, when you got that wind pushing the ball, and I'm telling you, it's got to be 20-mile-an-hour winds out there tonight.
If not stronger.
Now, the flags are blowing pretty hard. The corner flags, when I mentioned that, if you look at the Wichita, when it pans over to the supporters group every now and then, if you see the flags over there, they're moving. I mean, it's a decent amount of wind tonight.
Yes. But that's Kansas.
It is Kansas. You never know what you're going to get. You'll be shorts one day and snow boots the next day in Kansas. You just never know what you're going to get.
FC Wichita prepping another substitution.
What a save from Mark Weir. My goodness, that had me speechless, ladies and gentlemen, and that rarely happens. What a turn from Siobhan Welsh. Blasted it. Excuse me, Siobhan Walsh blasts it. Mark Weir, fingertip save, pushes it up off of the crossbar, off of that yellow crossbar, which is out of bounds, results in a corner kick for St. Louis.
And they're going to allow the substitution here before the corner kick for FC Wichita.
And this is Taylor Cubero coming out. Coming in is the Alex Morgan, not the Alex Morgan.
Your second favorite Alex Morgan.
This is my first favorite
Alex
Alex
your first
Morgan.
favorite.
Yeah, I like him better
moved up
than
in the world.
I like him better than Alex Morgan on the women's national team. He works harder.
This
guy works harder.
This is our first chance seeing him in the outdoor game, Johnny, but you and I are very familiar with.
Actually, he played. He got to play in the first game against Ozark.
He did make an appearance in that match. But some significant time here, and you can see him streaking down the field, making a run. These fresh legs. FC Wichita not content to sit back and defend here in the final 11 minutes of this match. They're going to push forward. They're going to try to create keeping chances, and Alex Morgan is a guy who can do that for you.
Well, he just booked somebody. I'm not sure who he booked. But we got some extra changes coming in. Got number 18
double substitution.
And 19 coming in. We've got number 19, Junior Kazim, a forward, coming in for St. Louis. And 18, ladies and gentlemen, you might remember him. It's Levi Spray. Played for FC Wichita last year from Benedictine College. He's a fantastic player. Super exciting left back. And, man, he's a hustler. He's a lot like what we're going to see here from Alex Morgan is hard-nosed defender, very speedy, might foul a little bit, you know. Same thing from Levi Spray.
He's going to be a tough player. Great ball from Morgan. Defender does well to get his head on it. Cut that ball
Frank
off
turns that ball, and he's into the 18 and causing trouble.
Lots of pressure coming from St. Louis. They know they need a goal, and they need it quick. In the 80th minute now, FC Wichita still leads 4-2. Just about 10 minutes left in this one. FC Wichita, though, has been in control pretty much the entire second half, Johnny.
Great defense of the ball there by Ben Ando. Frank Tayu still with the ball. Frank's still with the ball.
We'll get to see some of that fancy footwork. He lays it off.
Marian Saar with the ball. He's looking up, looking for his ball played in. A little bit too much on there from Alex Morgan. Finds the hands of Ziggy Cameo.
Yeah, that wind's still a factor, I'm sure.
Absolutely. It would have been a great ball. Getting held up by the wind would have been a fantastic ball.
Yes. But FC Wichita playing with the wind at their back. Wow.
Man, I tell you what there, number 9 there, Siobhan Walsh. Not the best shot that he's taken all night. Sometimes you see that goal, man, you get a little glory caught in your eye. And sometimes with that glory in your eye, you push a ball a little high. So I think that's what happened. We're in the 82nd minute here. Probably a good 10 minutes left. I'd say we're going to get probably 2 minutes of stoppage time.
There's been a few substitutions, but they've been quick.
Probably about 10 minutes left here in this match. Wichita leading 4-2.
FC Wichita prepping another substitution.
Yeah, this is Kieran Laking, British international from England. I was talking to him pre-game, Zacharina. You'll love this. Supports Manchester United.
Hey, that's my guy.
Yeah.
Wonder what he's doing tomorrow morning.
When I said Chelsea, he didn't have anything nice to say, and it was the first time.
And that's the right
first time Kieran and I had met. So it was a
way to make a terrible impression on him, Johnny.
Well, I was giving him a hard time because he's wearing the number 9 jersey. It's a little odd. Also, we're going to get another change. It's going to be number 16, Roberto Gomez.
At this point
Brazilian
in the game,
international from Cloud Community College and then Friends University. He's the cousin of Marcos Gomez. Both of these guys played with FC Wichita last season and really kind of worked their way into almost a starting 11, if not a starting 11. Marcos was a starting 11. Roberto was a regular coming off the bench because of his work ethic. Both of those guys, pretty tall, 6-footers, but fantastic movement with the ball, fantastic pace with the ball, and really misleading pace with the ball.
Wichita will save that second substitution to maybe
foul called on Eddie Gomez. Eddie Gomez gets knocked to the ground in its attempt to get up.
Supporters are furious.
And they had the angle over there, so I presume that they're correct. Well, this is going to be a dangerous free kick for St. Louis. And that's cleared away wonderfully by Uzi Tayu. Finds his brother Frank Tayu all alone with 2 players on him.
Frank playing the hold-up role there. He's got it for Taylor Henry. The keeper comes out. Ball comes out. They're going to call a foul. And a yellow.
And a yellow for Taylor Henry. That's absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. Well, the problem is now for St. Louis, first of all, he didn't touch him. The second thing is the problem now for St. Louis is they've already substituted their goalkeeper. So if he actually is injured, and he's not, he's clearly up right now.
Yeah.
It was total. He's putting on a show for us.
I have to wonder what the discussion is here because you got the yellow card. Is he trying to make a case for a red? Because, I mean, I would think the yellow was a bit of a stretch.
Well, first of all, I don't know where the foul is because he bobbled the ball. Taylor, once the ball's bobbled, Taylor's got a right and a right to make an attempt for the ball.
And that's going to be a handball. Alex Morgan there.
85th minute here.
And they're going to allow the sub.
Marian Saar going to come off for Roberto Gomez. Well, Marian Saar finding himself onto the score sheet tonight.
Yeah, what an impressive goal.
Fantastic goal in the 68th minute. Beautiful goal from Marian Saar, German international, who said his favorite club was Stuttgart.
Oh.
From the Bundesliga.
Well, at least it wasn't Hamburg. That was a bit of a train wreck this morning. I guess you can't get relegated to the second division if you burn down your stadium and don't have a place to play.
Great defensive effort there from Wichita. Eddie Gomez cleaning it up there. Going to be a corner kick for St. Louis. St. Louis pushing everything forward that they can right now, doing what they can. FC Wichita piling it in.
A little bit of pushing and shoving going on over there, but the referee's allowing play to continue.
Great bit of effort there over there for the St. Louis player. That was number 9, Siobhan Walsh. He's a handful. Corner kick coming up for St. Louis, their second in a row. Well done by Jared Robbins. Somehow Ben Ando comes out with that. Well done there by Alex Morgan. Finds Frank Tayu.
Here in the 87th minute, clock running down, still 4-2. FC Wichita leads.
Frank Tayu still with the ball. Uzi Tayu, great bit of skill there, great touch. Gets stripped, gets the ball back, gets fouled. No call from the referee. Gets held up by number 19 there. Right in front of the referee, no call there. It's going to be a throw-in here coming up for Wichita. 87th minute, just the end of the 87th minute.
If there's anything consistent about officials in the U.S. soccer pyramid, is that they're all inconsistent.
Well, it's probably easier said than done, Zaccarino. I'm probably one of the hardest on the referees, and for people who are listening in for the first time to Johnny Freedom, this is pretty much me for the past 5 years of calling games. I'm not a fan of officials. I like them off the field. I'm just not a fan of them when they're calling games. I'm a supporter at heart, and my club's FC Wichita, so I'm always going to show a little bit of favoritism for them. Roberto Gomez there getting called for the foul. He's having a little talk with the referee. Thought he was a little bit too aggressive. We're into the 88th minute here. Just a couple minutes left in this game. Great touch there by Victor Olorunfemi. Great defensive effort. Gets the ball pushed backwards. St. Louis looking to send a ball up. FC Wichita defending well. St. Louis looking to find a chink in the armor here for Wichita. Headed away by big Uzi Tayu. Well done, Mark. Mark Weir calls for the ball.
Yeah, it was a great little chip into the box there from
Dangerous
out wide.
from Levi Spray.
But nobody there making the run to help him out and put that ball in the back of the net. And looks like FC Wichita will play this one out here and collect their third win of a undefeated campaign so far.
89th minute, probably a couple minutes left, about a minute left of regulation time, maybe a couple minutes for substitution purposes. Haven't seen a lot of stoppages. One quick stoppage with the goalkeeper with the yellow card on Taylor Henry.
FC Wichita will move back into U.S. Open Cup play on Wednesday night, taking on the Tulsa Roughnecks from the 2nd Division USL.
That's a giveaway from Roberto Gomez.
Some good ball work there from Uzi, and Uzi gets taken down, and he is not happy about it. I don't know why you would want to deliberately foul Uzi Tayu.
Well, I think it was an accident, and I think number 5 there for St. Louis, Alondo Brown, was like, hey, man, it's all cool. And Alondo Brown was the guy that went down in the first half on a pretty nasty foul on him, so I think there wasn't any intention there on the part of Alondo Brown. About 10 seconds left here of regulation.
Let's see if we can see a signal from the 4th official. of stoppage
and we're
time.
into stoppage time now.
It looks like he's going to tell both coaching staffs separately, but we get no official. So it's stoppage time. We don't know how much it is. The coaches do.
Well, this is trouble here for Wichita.
2 minutes.
2 minutes of stoppage time. It's what we expected. And he was asking for a deflection there. He thought it was deflected. I think it was just a blast over the top with a little glory caught up in there. Mark, we're going to have a goal kick here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to invite you out to Jersey's Bar and Grill for this post-game party. If you didn't make it out to the stands tonight, we invite you to meet us over at Jersey's Bar and Grill. You can hang out with some of the players.
Celebrate a win.
Celebrate a win. FC Wichita 2-0 in the Heartland Conference. 3 wins on the season in all competitions so far. Looking to get another win in Tulsa.
And how incredible would it be for FC Wichita to advance into the 3rd round of the U.S. Open Cup? You know, the Roughnecks, definitely a very talented team, having a great season in USL so far. But you never know when they'll take a team and underestimate and play their reserves. You know, they have a game this weekend. They have a game next weekend in the USL. So that midweek game may see some reserve faces in it. May just give, if FC Wichita keeps playing at the quality that they have been, they'll be a tough test for the Roughnecks no matter what.
I'll tell you what, Wichita's still playing tough here, looking to get a 5th. St. Louis not giving up. Great defensive effort there from from Uzi Tayu. Uzi trips over Orlando Brown there.
This should be the last attack of the match. And an offside call. That should wrap it up. A little bit of a skirmish there.
Well, St. Louis probably players not too happy. They've played fantastic tonight. Hats off to them. A round of applause for all the St. Louis players. They put Wichita to the test.
Yeah,
Zach,
the first 30 minutes of this game was the best opposition that we have seen from any team so far.
In a while.
In this campaign so far, whether it be in PSL action or U.S. Open Cup, the first 30 minutes of this game, St. Louis were absolutely remarkable, putting on a barn burner, you know, with 5 goals in 30 minutes between the two teams. They just didn't come out, you know. Wonder if travel's a factor. They didn't show up until about 45 minutes until kickoff.
But I clarified that. They had been they were at the hotel.
Oh, okay, cool. So they
came in several hours before. So they were here on time. They were well rested. It's just a matter, I think, of them finding their rhythm.
And as the season progresses, this is going to be a dangerous team. Don't count them out now just because an early match. I'm sure the return fixture in St. Louis will be a much different affair.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to playing St. Louis. I'll tell you that right now. They're a great club, well coached, well organized. Their play is amazing. That's the game, ladies and gentlemen. FC Wichita coming on top over St. Louis Atletico by a score of 4-2. I'll give you a goal rundown here real quick. First goal for St. Louis was Siobhan Walsh in the 3rd minute. Nelson Landaverde ties it up in the 16th minute from FC Wichita. Siobhan Walsh getting his brace unassisted in the 21st minute put St. Louis up 2-1. Frank Tayu on a PK ties it up 2-2 in the 24th minute. Frank Tayu gets his brace on an assist from Nelson Landaverde in the 30th minute. And then Marian Saar puts Wichita on top with a 2-goal lead in the second half in the 68th minute on a beautiful goal. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for tuning in. We totally apologize for the issues that we had with our software this evening. We're still working out those bugs. We thank you for sticking with us and being patient with us. And we hope that you'll tune in again soon. Wichita fans, there's around 40 tickets available for that Tulsa match, the Tulsa Roughneck match on Wednesday. If you can't make it to Tulsa, we need you in Tulsa. We'll give you a free ticket if you go up there. But if you can't make it, we invite you to come out to the only place where you're going to be able to watch the U.S. Open Cup match against the Roughnecks, and that's at Jersey's Bar and Grill. We invite you to come out there on Wednesday and watch it with us, and watch FC Wichita with their chance to knock off a USL Pro Club.
Yeah, it should be a fantastic matchup, exciting. Everything that FC Wichita has shown us this year, I definitely think they could be a contender to be in the third round of the U.S. Open Cup. It's the most prestigious soccer tournament in the United States. It's open to all levels of the soccer pyramid, and I'd love to see FC Wichita be one of those teams that makes the Cinderella-esque run this year.
For sure, get us a lot of positive press, but we're going to have our hands full with Tulsa, a very tough club. We've had a great relationship with the Roughnecks. All the respect to them, but we're looking to get a win. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, on behalf of FC Wichita, I want to thank you for tuning in. I'm Johnny Freedom. With me tonight was Zach Light. We'll see you again real soon.